Hello and welcome to this video, and I'll be reacting to Armenia's song for Eurovision 2025, Survivor by Parg.
A disclaimer. Israel shouldn't be allowed to participate at the Eurovision Song Contest 2025. The shortest and simplest reason being that I find the actions of the Israeli government to be abhorrent and their broadcaster isn't a separate entity. My reasons in their entirety, however, are numerous and too detailed for a disclaimer like this, but videos closely aligning with my point of view are listed in the description. I encourage you to watch those videos and do something. Further resources are added as and when they become relevant. I'll stop addressing this when it no longer needs to be addressed.
I have managed to completely avoid spoilers of what this performance looks like, so this will be my true first reaction to it. I have listened to the song because I've listened to all the studio versions and ranked them, and this was my winner of them, but I do not know what the performance looks like. I am a tiny bit surprised that he did win. I haven't seen the performances at all, as I say, so I don't know what the other ones looked like, but based on the hype, I was really expecting Athena to win with Da Queen Nation, but she came third, not even second, so there clearly was a desire for Parg to go to Eurovision, and I'm pretty excited about that. It is, as I say, my favourite of De Pievra Tessil, and I'm very curious to see how it was performed. It is a very, very intense song with a nice little switch up in the bridge so that it doesn't get boring, and I'm curious to hear how it was sung live, what the staging looks like and everything like that. So let's give the song a listen now. Wow, Armenian is so fascinating. That is not how I would have assumed you spell Parg. Ooh, eyes closed to start with. Cool. Started a tiny bit too early, but that is fine. He'll have a lot of rehearsal time in Basel. A really cool start, getting up too close to him and just staying on the one camera angle for a while. And a rocky stage prop. I'm not sure that the enunciation is the best, or maybe this is just stylized. One silver arm is kind of cool. I'm not sure all of those notes were exactly right. Some interesting dances. But the intensity is there. He is performing it completely in character, completely convincingly. The laugh was cool, and it does seem like he is running out of breath a little bit, so it's good that there's more playbacky bit. The stage does look a little bit cramped, to be honest, but he's doing a great job of using it. Oh, a red light from the floor, that's nice. Is it meant to be like blood or lava or, I don't know, energy source? I have no idea. That was pretty good. And there is something that looks like a crumpled up piece of paper in the background. Is it a universe? Is it that energy source now in greyish? It's exploded. That's pretty cool. With the smoke as well. That really works. Robin is particularly cuddly. Ah, there's stairs there. That's cool. Him standing on the torn apart bit of rock, yeah. I almost wish he was doing that for more of the performance. Well done. That really works. Yeah. Alright. That was both better and worse than I anticipated in different ways. Maybe I was just hearing it badly, but it sounded to me like a lot of the time the verses especially weren't quite sung with the right notes. I might be wrong there. I don't know. I'm not actually properly trained in music to any degree, and I just pick up as I go based on Eurovision mostly, so maybe I'm wrong. I'm very, very, very sorry if I am wrong. But that playback in the chorus also sounded a bit necessary, because it did sound like he was getting out of breath, especially after the most heavy rappy bit, so good that it's there. Could we maybe have a tiny revamp to the song so that it's definitely in a comfortable range for him to sing? That might be a smart idea, because that's better for Eurovision, knowing you can definitely sing it and over-delivering rather than struggling to keep up with your song. But maybe he wasn't struggling, maybe that's just me interpreting it wrongly. I'm very sorry, very, very, very sorry if I am. But to me it was a little bit off at quite a few points in the verses and a little bit breathy during the end of that rappy bit. I couldn't perform it better. That's not what I'm suggesting, because I'm also not participating in these national finals. I'm not trying to represent any country at Eurovision. Maybe that this makes it unwarranted criticism. I'm very sorry in that case, but that is genuinely my gut reaction to this live performance. So that is the first thing that I'm thinking after having seen it. But that rock thing was very cool. A lot of people are getting higher up this year, almost everyone, and I think it would be cooler if he interacted with it more. I know that would make him breathier, but that was a really cool prop, especially with it being torn down the middle. That invites a little bit of an element of danger, because in nature you'd assume, or are they gonna pull apart from one another even more? Is it dangerous to stand on top of it? So he could be a really good thing to see him up there more, because I was surprised to see that he can even go up there at all. It's also a nice grand finale, so maybe you don't need to be up there more often, but I think it would be a really good idea, genuinely, to have him get up there for the first chorus maybe, and then get back down and then go back up for the last chorus, something like that would be really cool to me. Obviously the staging could also look completely different in Basel, that's obviously allowed, but I think this is a good foundation to work with, honestly. Light on the floor and him moving about quite a bit, starting with the camera way too close up. That's also interesting, not something we see very often, and works with the intensity of the song. So there's a lot of great ideas here to start with, and it really works with this song. I'd like to see a tiny bit more use of the prop, to be honest, because I think it was really cool that he managed to get up there at the end. So I'd like to see that more for this song. Is it going to qualify? I don't know. I would like to think so. It's in the first half of the second semi-final, and there's nothing similar to it here yet. The closest thing we've got is, I don't know, maybe Like a Party. It's just really different to everything so far. We're going to have a pop rock song from Austria as well, and who knows what from Australia. So it probably will be standing out in its half, which is good. Standing out is always helpful. And I think that means it's got pretty decent chances. I don't know where it's gonna be in the running order. That will also change things up, make it more or less likely to qualify. Obviously, that's always the case. My gut reaction right now is yes, because it will be standing out. The performance was pretty good overall, and he's got plenty of time to rehearse it for Basel, both in terms of breath work and in terms of the choreography itself for the stage. It was really, really good already, but it could get polished up a tiny bit more. As always, almost everyone can improve between the national final and Basel, or the Eurovision semi-finals, I guess, depending on the year. But yeah, I think it's got a pretty decent chance at qualifying. Not necessarily a handed spot or a secure spot, because it still depends on everything else around it. Where is it amongst the community? It is in 13th out of 17 songs. Not that great, but songs by guys tend to be undervalued on my Eurovision scoreboard, so that is not exactly surprising. Good for him in terms of qualifying is the fact that he is in the second semi-final, whereas the first semi-final seems to be full of dancey boys. We've got Belgium, Netherlands potentially, Norway, and Cyprus. So he will be standing out in his semi-final, but then not necessarily in the final, depending on who gets through. Not that this was particularly dancey, but there were little moments in the chorus that were a little bit dancey. And also the vibe and stylistic choices are maybe a tiny bit similar to Lighter as well, so it's good that they're in separate semi-finals. Better for both of them, honestly. Even better for Parg, because he's not in the semi-final with the dancey boys, but good for both of them. I think pretty decent chances of qualifying. Wouldn't say it's a secure qualifier, but if it does qualify, probably getting on the right hand side of the scoreboard in the final. I don't see this fighting for the left hand side. I might be wrong. Armenia always does better than we imagine them to at the start of the season, so I could definitely be wrong. But they've also returned to their Pievratesil after not using it for a few years and getting better and better results, so I don't know what the reasoning behind that was. Did they get enough songs submitted that they were like, actually enough of these are quality that we want to just let the public decide, kind of? Or were they unsure if any of these songs are good enough? And they were like, okay, well, we're not going to just select internally, we're going to have a vote on it. I don't know what the reasoning was, whether the songs are too good or not good enough for the Armenian broadcaster, but this is what's happened now. We've had a national final and Parg has won it with Survivor. So, well done, Parg. I'd love to be proven wrong and see this vie for the top 10, but right now my gut feeling after this performance is that it probably will be on the right hand side of the scoreboard if it makes it to the final, and it's not a secure qualifier yet to me. And that's all that I've got to say about Armenia's song for Eurovision 2025, Survivor by Parg. Please do let me know what you think down in the comments below. Am I completely off base with the singing not being quite spot on in this live performance, or do you also think that? As I say, I could be wrong, but that is what I heard in this performance the first time that I've listened to it just now. So please let me know what you think down in the comments below, and remember to literally like the video if you liked watching it and share it with someone else who you think might enjoy watching the video as well. If you'd like to, subscribe to the channel for more Eurovision 2025 and beyond content. But thank you ever so much just for watching the video itself though, that's a great help as it is. I really do hope that you enjoyed it, that got something out of it. I'll see you in the next one that shows up on your feed. Bye! I'm going to change my camera battery quickly. Okay, camera battery is changed, and I can keep rambling about whether this will qualify.